Bungie's first DLC without Activision has been announced, and it's going to bring about a lot of changes, a complete overhaul of some core systems, and it brings us back to a familiar place. Bungie has made a lot of promises, and unfortunately, they haven't delivered on a lot of those, which is why it's hard to trust some of the things they say and to get excited about things whenever they're revealed. Due to that, you don't want to get too excited or hyped about the new content because you don't want to have to be let down again. But that was the old Bungie with Activision. This is the new Bungie. The reveal of Destiny 2's September DLC, Shadowkeep, is set to bring some big changes and try to bring back former players and new players alike. Shadowkeep brings us back to the moon, which is said to be 2 times bigger than it was in Destiny 1, and it looks like we'll be facing some enemies that we thought were long gone. Along with that comes probably the biggest change coming in September, and that is the addition of cross saves. Cross saves allows you to save your characters and all of your progress and be able to switch between consoles, PC, and the new edition of Google Stadia. This means that everything will be saved to your profile as opposed to just on your console. Now, it's not clear if you will have to own the DLC separately for each platform you're switching to, or if that will also be tied into your account. It's not clear if you'll have to own the DLC for the platform you're switching to, or if that will all be tied to your account as well. I would imagine it's all tied to your account, otherwise cross-save would be pointless since no one wants to purchase $60 DLCs multiple times. And it's also unclear of how many times you can switch between platforms or if it'll be unlimited in case you want to go between platforms for whatever reason. Now, one thing to mention though is cross saves is great for people who plan on or have wanted to switch to PC, whether it be for graphics or to another platform, whether it be to play with friends, but that could also hurt the player base from whichever one you're switching from, or possibly even the one you're switching to. See, if a large group goes from one platform to the other, well, then that could make it hard to find load times on whichever console is left abandoned. That doesn't mean that this will happen, and cross-platform could still come about between now and then. We don't know, but it's not very likely that it will, and it doesn't mean that this is a for sure thing that you will run into this issue, but it makes it more likely now. Another huge change is the addition of New Light. New Light is the free version of Destiny 2, which is essentially just all of the year 1 content, and it allows new players to have access to all the content up to the Warmind DLC. Now, they will also be able to get a boosted character so they can skip the grind and jump into in-game content so that they can access it with some of their friends who have been playing the whole time, so you don't have to spend 40 hours or whatever the case may be grinding up to that level. This is huge for a lot of people, mainly that quit before Forsaken and want to jump back in, but feel so far behind that it wouldn't be worth it. I have a lot of friends who feel this way, so this could bring back a large player base, and it could also bring about new players in general. Also coming to Destiny is what Bungie calls Armor 2.0. This is an overhaul of the armor system, and one which allows players to swap different perks in and out of armor sets, which can fit your playstyle or fit the activity that you're playing in, whether it be raids, strikes, crucible, or whatever the case may be. I'm interested to see how this is going to work and for them to go into more detail about this, because this could fragment some people who really love that grind, because now essentially once you get a piece of armor, it seems as if you may be able to transmog or change the appearance of the armor to look like another piece of armor that you already own. And also you don't have to keep grinding to get that piece of armor, but with the particular role that you want. I don't think this will be as big of a deal since it's armor and not weapons, but still, we've seen in the past the community backlash from having too little or too much grind. As with new content, we will also be getting new armor sets, new weapons, and new exotics. They also announced that they will be doing away with PlayStation exclusives. Sorry, Sony fans. This has been a long time coming, especially since there's arguably a larger player base on PC now, which means your majority doesn't get to access exclusive weapons and strikes that PlayStation players do. Bungie also unveiled a new raid, which takes place in the Black Garden, which has been long forgotten since the end of the campaign in D1, basically. Now, not a lot of details on what we'll be doing there or why we've been brought back there, but all in all, it is a nostalgic feeling to be going back to basically where it all started for us. Crucible fans were even given love as well, as it was mentioned that they will be bringing back Crucible Labs with some classic playlist and reworking current playlist and how they work. Yeah, that's basically all that was said for Crucible. No, they didn't mention anything about trials, and it seems as though they're really going to focus on trying to get a better balance of gameplay for the Crucible before they decide to add in trials again, which is kind of interesting because they still do have Iron Banner, which is a Crucible, which is a monthly Crucible playlist. So why they'll add that but they won't add trials, maybe is because trials is a weekly thing and they don't want it to feel broken on a weekly basis, whereas you really only see Iron Banner maybe a couple times a season, so it's not as big of a deal. Overall, this looks like a really solid DLC with game-changing updates, but as I said in the beginning, I've been let down too many times to buy into this 100%. But since I am huge Destiny fan, I will be purchasing this regardless, even though I tell myself every time that this is the last time, and if it doesn't work on this one, I'm done. Shadowkeep arrives September 17th, and we'll get to see if it can deliver in making Destiny better than ever before. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I will leave a link down in the description for the vid doc in case you want to go watch it yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like is greatly appreciated. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell to be notified when I post new content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.